Thank you for watching Charter Local Edition. Joined now by the Northeast Tarrant County Chamber of Commerce President CEO, Mr. Jack Bradshaw. Jack, thank you for joining us. You're here to tell us all about the great things that are happening in your area, and you've got some exciting success stories here over the last year.
It's really an amazing time for Northeast Tarrant County. Over the last 10 years, the growth has been about 28%, and in fact, if you look at the growth of Tarrant County, most of it is driven by Northeast Tarrant County. In fact, if you look at the census figures during that period of time, Dallas County grew by only 1%. So by the year 2030, if the same growth patterns continue, you could see that Tarrant County might be equal to Dallas County in terms of population. We've got some wonderful things that are happening, and really driving the economic development right now is the huge North Tarrant Express project. That is a $2.5 billion traffic project that goes right through the heart of Northeast Tarrant County. It's right along the 820 corridor, and what it does is it connects the airport and I-35, so it makes that whole trip much quicker for that area. And what it's doing already, if you drive that area, you've seen the changes. I mean, you're looking at these wonderful, it's a 12 to 14 lane superhighway that goes right through there. And you can see already on the north and south sides, especially in Haltom City and Northwich and Hills, there's lots of dirt moving going on. So you're going to see new hotels, new restaurants, new strip centers. That whole area is really undergoing a wonderful rebirth right now.
The businesses in that area are going to see a lot more traffic once that construction is done. What are you hearing from those businesses? They're probably looking forward to this being complete.
It's been a little bit of a rough time for the businesses with all the construction and everything. They've had to endure really 4 years of it being a little bit of a tougher time, and people taking other routes to get where they want to go. But they're very, very excited. The North Tarrant Express is opening up here in early October, and that's really going to be a milestone event for Northeast Tarrant County.
Jack, let's talk about economic development. We see big splashy projects make the news, but a lot of economic development is happening in the community every day.
That's right, and you'll see that 70 to 80% of the economic growth is really driven by current infrastructure. You know, the dry cleaner that expands from 2 locations to 6 locations, or the restaurant that 10 years ago had 1 location and now they've got 6 locations. You look at a franchise like Fuzzy's, it started over in the TCU area with 1 location. I used to work right next to it. I thought it was a great place. I never imagined that they would have 25 locations in the whole Dallas-Fort Worth area. So that really drives a lot of the economic development, but we all get excited about the new projects too, the new golf course or the new water park or the new gun range. So we love to see those new businesses coming into the area as well. But all of it together is really what is driving so much great economic development in Northeast Tarrant County right now.
Why would someone join a Chamber of Commerce today?
You know, that's a great question. We get asked that all the time, and I think sometimes people think of the Chamber of Commerce in terms of 10, 20, 30 years ago, where they think it's a bunch of guys sitting around talking about business. But we are so much more, and I can tell you that all the chambers that we work with are doing everything they can to help their member businesses be more successful and also be very relevant at the same time. You know, if you look at investment in the Chamber of Commerce from a business standpoint, it really is a long-term investment in the success of your business. And when I say that, you know, you're talking about joining a chamber for $300 to maybe $750. So when you look at that compared to all the advertising options out there, I mean, it's a tremendous value. But you still have to work it. You still have to get out. You have to meet people. You have to shake hands. You have to drop business cards. You have to make an effort to say, hey, I'm a member of the Chamber of Commerce, and you are as well. We'd like to talk to you about doing business together. When you work it that way, it works tremendously, and we have some tremendous success stories of people that have been chamber members for 40, 45 plus years. If you look at North Hills Hospital, the Star Telegram, Encore years ago was a fledgling company. Now they're a very, very successful, well-known company who's made a big commitment to the community and been a chamber member for 45 years. So we love success stories like that. We also love the small success story of the insurance salesperson who comes and joins the chamber, gets involved, and now gets 92% of their referrals in their business from working within the chamber. So we hear these wonderful success stories all the time, and we know that from a long-term standpoint, if you can get into the chamber, really establish relationships, because establishing relationships is what it's all about, that it's a kind of a can't-miss long-term investment.
So you join the chamber, helps your business, but staying involved and finding new ways to do it, it really drives the business further, and it promotes that long-term investment.
That's right. We have over 125 events a year, from networking events to social events, educational events, luncheons with great speakers, and every one of them is a great opportunity to network. And so if you come to one event a month and you do 12 per year and you establish 12 to 24 new relationships, think how far that's going to take you in the long run and what that can do for your business. So it's really about helping our members establish relationships and then putting them in contact with the people that they want to get in contact with.
So startup businesses who may think, hey, I'll just do this myself, I'll use social media, I'll use, I'll use my network of friends. Do you think that, how does the Chamber respond to that? And what extra services can you offer those small businesses that are just starting up to think maybe, hey, I could do some of this myself?
Well, absolutely, they can do it themselves, and they always could, right? They could always put their shingle up on their doorstep and say, hey, we're open for business. But really it's a matter of taking that business and growing it, establishing relationships, as I've talked about, and nobody does that better than the Chamber. And so if you're a small business and you want to get involved and you want to see your business grow and you want to see it become more successful, first of all, you've got to kind of take a long-term approach to it. Here's what I'm going to do, and here's the plan that I'm going to stay with, and I'm going to stick with that, and I'm going to get out there, I'm going to meet new people, I'm going to establish the relationships, I'm going to follow my plan, and over the long run, we see great things happen. But a lot of times what happens is businesses, and it's a little bit of how we are in today's society, right? We want instant success. You want to go open your business, and 2 months later, 25 people have walked through the door and your business is rolling. Well, it doesn't really happen that way. When you talk about a long-term investment and you look at a business, it's kind of like a bell curve that goes along like this, and there's just a little bit of growth, and then in time, that bell curve really starts to go up. But you've got to get to that point, and the way you get to that point is by investing in your business. And small business owners can't invest a lot of money. They can't go out and do tons of direct mail. They can't do television commercials. They can't run long-term radio campaigns like the big guys do. So what do? Well, they can use social media, and they can get involved in the Chamber. And in the Chamber, it's really a time investment on their part. They've got to come out, they've got to meet people, they've got to get involved in leads groups, and what happens is these people, the Chamber members, become your advocates because they know about your business. And somebody says, hey, do you know somebody who can help me with my insurance? Or do you know a roofer? Or do you know a great plumber? I mean, how many times do we hear that? And when you talk about, when they're asking a Chamber member, they're going to say, you know what, I've been working with this group for 25 years and they're wonderful, and make sure and give them a call. So that's really the way it works from a small business standpoint. You don't have the resources to spend that kind of money on advertising, so you've got to make the time investment yourself and realize that that's a long-term investment in your success, and really follow that path.
And when you join your organization, it's not just the community you're in, it's the region that you're participating in, because your organization reaches out beyond just city limits, right?
Well, yes. Officially, the cities we work with are the cities of North Richland Hills, Watauga, Haltom City, and Richland Hills. And there's a lot of wonderful things going on in that area. Not only is there a wonderful housing boom to the north end of North Richland Hills and on into Keller there, but there's a wonderful industrial belt just south of 820 where there's some pretty incredible companies that are growing and setting up shop there. So if you take that area as a whole, you've got large businesses like Chesapeake Energy and Coca-Cola and Coors Distributing, all the way down to all sorts of new businesses and chains that are coming into that area. So you put all that together and you've got this wonderful economic development mix that's going on right now.
Jack Bradshaw with the Northeast Tarrant County Chamber of Commerce is our guest today. Thanks for watching Charter Local Edition.